All right. So welcome to our September 30th Team Dignity call. This call is actually going to take place in two parts because I wanted to keep our calls within the whole 30-minute time frame and not be here forever, especially since we're going to be talking about the difference between 2B mindset and the container system, because I created the poll within our group and this was one of the things that everybody wanted to hear about, which I'm actually excited to talk about, the difference between the two, because they're both great nutrition plans and systems that Beachbody has. And 2B mindset's fairly new, so I know it's one thing that I kind of, as you guys all came on, I've talked about and kind of like maybe push you towards a little bit, but it's good to know that both options are out there and what they are. So again, this will be like we'll talk about actually 2B mindset during this call, and then next Sunday we'll get into the container system and then the pros and cons between the two, just because there's a lot of information I'm going to give you, so I don't want to throw too much at you that way you can't like digest it, I guess let's put it that way. So of course, as always, we start out with our recognition. So we're closing September, so next Sunday we'll all have like clean slates, so the numbers will be lower again. But this time around, our winners are Kristen Whitaker and Amber Bumbarger. So congratulations, ladies. Next up too, though, was Amber Zimmerman, Courtney Baker, Erica Barnes, and Annette Gressinger. I mean, everybody did really, really well for the most part this month. I'm very happy with everybody's participation. And for, staying true to yourself and putting yourselves first. And as always, crushing your goals, because I mean, that's the main thing here. You guys have all set your goals and you want to keep continuing to crush them each month. So I like to make sure that you guys get rewarded and kind of like an incentive to keep going, because I know sometimes it gets tough and you don't really want to, especially like maybe the scale's not moving or the month was tough. Like this month for me has been crazy. Just with personal stuff too, and just life in general, it's been crazy. So it's good to see everybody pushing and being accountable there with me, because that helps keeping me going too. So hopefully that's keeping you all going as well. So she's kind of cutting it off, of course. But since Amber is this is her first time winning, she gets kind of what everybody else got their first month. I did it this way just to like keep myself sane. So I wasn't giving everybody like the same thing. And then like everybody, like as you win more challenge groups, like you get different stuff. It's kind of like just my way of keeping it different, I guess. So this is what the plaque or like the little recognition award will look like for the month of September. And then Amber, I'll be in touch with you on shirt sizes for one of the Swell Sister shirts that actually myself, Kristen, and Courtney Baker have. So now I can't count myself, Kristen, now the four of us will have. And then you'll get some samples of beach bars and then some information on those in case it's something that you'd like to order in the future. So congratulations, Amber. And then Kristen, this is her third time winning a challenge group. So same little plaque or like a little award thingy, except this time we're going to get a shaker bottle. And then I thought the shirt was really cute. It doesn't have anything on the front, but I just thought it was cute because on the back it says strength is beautiful. So I just thought it was cute. And besides, it helps you grow your workout apparel. Because who doesn't like new workout shirts at least? So Kristen, I think I have your size from before. So we're good there. So I'll be ordering that hopefully tonight. If it's not tonight, tomorrow night. And then once I get those, I'll get them sent out to you guys. And I did want to give a shout out to Amber Zimmerman, just because her and her mother completed a 5K on Saturday. And she posted that she finished in 43 minutes and 16 seconds and only walked like 2 3-minute sessions. So I think that's pretty freaking awesome. And I know she's been working really hard for this 5K. Like that's one thing she's been training for instead of doing like the Beachbody workout. She's been training for this, which is perfectly fine. This group has helped her, I think, hold her accountable to, I think she'd be okay with me saying that, hold her accountable to, achieve this goal with her mom. So I just wanted to give her a virtual congratulations and virtual high fives on that, because I think that's pretty awesome. So great job, ladies. I am excited for our next challenge group, which kicks off tomorrow. So Randy just went live in our challenge group just to talk about the things I have listed here. She told us our challenge winner, which was Kristen. So congratulations on that too, Kristen. I'll need to think of what to give you now for that. So I'll have to think about that. I'll give you some options and then I'll let you know. But this talks about like cleaning out your cupboards and before and after pictures, measurements, scheduling your workouts, the importance of meal planning and meal prepping. And then she also talked about we're going to continue the pop-up challenge group, or the pop-up challenges and the prizes for those two. And then we're thinking about starting a virtual gym. I mean, if you guys watched her live video, I'm not going to dive into all this that much. We just decided it would be good to do like another one of these like prep videos, just because I think we've added a few people through the month of September. So it's good to kind of like give them that information again, like we did to you all in the beginning. But the virtual gym thing is something new that we're thinking about starting. If I can get it to work, I'm trying to get it to work. So what would happen is like there's going to be a link, and you will, when you go to do your workout, if you want to, you can click on it and then go into it, and it gives you, just like this, a Zoom call, like I can see you, you can see me, but you'll come into the group muted, and you can just go about doing your workout. The other people will go about doing their workout, but you're kind of like working out together. So it kind of gives you like that gymmy atmosphere, because I know a lot of people say I go to the gym because of the like the atmosphere, the being around other people. They don't like to work out by themselves. So I kind of give you that if it's something that you're interested in doing. We're thinking about getting it started if I can get it to work. So that kind of falls on me to try to get that to work, because I'm not quite sure what's happening. But I've reached out to a few resources to try to figure out how to get it to work. So that is at least going to be coming. Like Randy said in her live video, if it's something you think you'll utilize, to comment it there. If it's something you don't think you're going to utilize, like she said too, we don't want to waste our time trying to fix it and do it if it's something that you don't think you would utilize. But I think you were going to do it anyway, even if it's just for a few people, and so it kind of like catches on. So I believe tonight she's going to change the little header on our challenge group, because right now it has a kickoff to a new you. She's going to change it to the Spooktacular Fit for the month of October. So this is just a reminder about the Super Saturday event on Saturday, October 20th. If you're thinking about going, or even if you aren't able to go, at least just let me know. I know most of you have. If you haven't let me know that you can go or can't go, just shoot me a message. I'd like to know at least by tomorrow night, just that way I can, make arrangements for hotel and stuff like that and get that finalized and planned. I have a link on our Team Dignity page about this. So if you just search for it or just look for it in the team events, it's there in case you want more information on it or are thinking about attending. That's where it is. And it's also the link to purchase the ticket too. And then after this, I won't bring it up anymore, because I want to know at least by Monday who's going. And then after the event, I'll be sure to, give my feedback on how it went, because I am definitely going. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. So I'm sure most of you noticed too today that I blew up your notifications on the Team Dignity page. I uploaded a ton of Shakeology recipes, lunch recipes, and dinner recipes that I have kept like stored to myself until I created this page. And some of them are things that I have tried or ones that I want to try. So I definitely know as I'm trying them, I'll post if I thought they were good or not, just so you're not wasting your time trying them. So if you try them and you want to do the same, that would be appreciated too, just so everybody knows if this is something worthwhile trying to make. I just know I wanted to do that just because I know that there's, like, you get bored. I don't know about you guys, but me, I get bored kind of eating the same things all the time. So it's good to like have other recipes that I know that people have thought were good or have tried and they were good, instead of like just going to Pinterest or doing some research myself and trying something and it be crappy. So I just thought that was a good idea to share those. So I do apologize for blowing up the notifications. That shouldn't happen for like that for a while, at least anyways. I don't make any promises, but it shouldn't happen like that for a while. So let's go ahead and dive into To Be Mindset here. So I know most of you know what that is, but whoops. Let me get out of here, and it's going to pause it. All right, stop sharing. Okay. I want to minimize. This happens every time. I don't understand. Okay, that's fine. Just do what I want you to do. Okay. So someday I'll get this down. I don't know when that'll be. Hopefully it's in your guys' lifetime. Okay, there we go. So you should see I'll make it a little bit bigger here, my screen, which this pretty much explains To Be Mindset in a nutshell. So for some of you, this may be redundant and stuff you already know, but just for sake of completeness, want to talk about what it is. So 2B mindset, it gets rid of the container systems completely. So the container systems, again, we'll talk about that next time, and then I'll give you a list of like what I think are the pros and cons, and then we can have a little discussion about it afterwards. I'll just set aside that meeting that team call next Sunday for that, the containers, and then a discussion on the two if you have any questions. So the plated method, again, you don't count any like calories, any carbs, any fats, any purples, which are like your fruits with a container system, or you don't count anything. It's not based on counting, which I know some people that when I brought it up to them, it kind of like freaks them out because they're used to like the container system where you do your little formula, or it's based off of your weight and it tells you what bracket you fall into. So then you follow either plan A, B, or C, or whatever. And then it tells you exactly how much of what to eat. This 2B mindset does too, just not at that level. So here they're still telling you, like for breakfast, 50% of your plate or your meal should be protein, and the other 50% should be this FFC, which are your carbohydrates and your fruits. So the plated method, which is 2B mindset, does the same thing. It's just you're not counting anything. You're basing it off of percentages based on your plate. I know for me, this has helped me. I follow this plan. But if you follow the container system and you're perfectly happy with it, that is fine too. I've done the container system as well, and I just don't like the counting of anything. So when this came about, it was just much more easier for me to visualize what I needed to eat. So again, it's just personal preference. It's just something you'll need to figure out and weigh the options between the two. But for me, like if we go out to eat, especially dinner, like that's obviously the biggest one most people go out to eat is dinner. It helped me realize like, okay, this is what my plate should look like. Because I know whenever I was following the container system, I was like, okay, well, how many yellows are in this meal? Which yellows are your carbs, or how many greens are in here, which are your vegetables. It's kind of hard to like visualize the content. For me, it was hard for me to visualize my meal on my plate and then be like, okay, how many containers is this? Where like for dinner, for instance, I know I jumped from breakfast to dinner, but for dinner, for instance, here it's telling you 75% of your plate should be vegetables, 25% should be your protein. It's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. You at least can look at your plate and say, this is how much food's here. So we'll start at the beginning. So like she says, I can never remember her name, so I apologize, the lady that did this. She is big on like water first, veggies most, because of course we know water. Your body doesn't know the difference between I'm thirsty and I'm hungry. The pain and the signal to your brain is exactly the same. So she always tells you veggies first, and she says on here to aim at 16 ounces before your first bite. So that doesn't mean like, okay, I'm sitting down for breakfast, I'm going to chug 16 ounces of water. That's not what that means. That just means from the moment you wake up until you eat, so you take your first bite of breakfast, you should have had 16 ounces of water in there. And that's just a way of like hydrating your body and then making sure that you're not thirsty and you're actually hungry. So then what you eat is because you're hungry. And then of course, again, breakfast should be like 50% protein, 50% FFC, which again is your fruits and your carbohydrates. So for lunch, she's saying the same thing. Make sure you have your water in first. So by the time you're done with breakfast until you have your first bite of lunch, you should at least have had 16 ounces of water in again. Again, just to make sure you're hydrated and that you're actually hungry. But for lunch this time around, she's saying 50% should be vegetables, 25% should be protein, and then 25% should be your FFC, which is your carbs, carbohydrates, and your fruit. What's she saying? Accessories are desired to make. Okay, so yes, accessories, she considers a lot of, we'll get to that in a second, but the accessory piece, she considers a lot of that to be like your freebie stuff. But again, she pushes a lot for using like herbs and stuff like that. You know, when I first started this journey, I was a big salt and pepper person. I mean, who wasn't? I think that's kind of how we all may have been raised, big salt and pepper and butter. So through this, I have learned to season my foods with more like herbs and stuff like that, instead of like just your generic like salt and pepper. I still use salt and pepper, just not as much. I season with more herbs, but those are considered like accessories. Your herbs are. Snacks are the same, which she calls it snacktional. So snacks are optional, but if somebody's telling me I can have a snack, I'm going to eat a snack. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I'm going to eat a snack. So snacks kind of the same as lunch, the same thing. If you're going to have a snack, try to have your 16 ounces of water in between your lunch and then your first bite of your snack. And then you should try to do, again, the 50% veggies, 25% protein, and 25% FFC, so carbohydrates and fruits. And then dinner, same thing. Always want to have that 16 ounces of water in between your last bite of your snack and then your dinner. So see how this would be easy to get like your 80 ounces of water in. So I know some people struggle with getting 80 ounces of water in. If you kind of like stick to this, you're going to get that, which is nice because you definitely want to be making sure that you're hydrated. I know that's one of the biggest things for people is they feel hungry, especially after dinner because they didn't get in enough water. I know I'm guilty of that too. So definitely shooting to get your water in between each meal is important. But then dinner here, I know a lot of people freak out with this and don't, because I'm going to tell you something here. Dinner, she wants 75% to be veggies. Yikes, right? And then 25% to be protein. So believe it or not, when I first started, like I literally was like, oh my God, because I am a big like pasta person. I was a big pasta person and was used to having like a carb or like a sweet potato or something like that, which a sweet potato is a carb. So that falls into the FFC. But I have noticed that like anything else, if you're thinking about this, follow it for like a week or two and see how you feel. I know for me in the beginning, I was hungry. I was like starving come morning time. And I found myself having like unplanned snacks after dinner. So I'm big on trying to do like the dinner and done, but I found myself having snacks after dinner. So I would add like 15% in there, like a little sliver of a carb of some sort, just to kind of like help me and like switch my gears to that. And I still do now from time to time. So it's just another thing where like you need to be documenting what you're eating, either it's through your meal plan through the week or physically writing down what you're eating each day. And just to see like how your body reacts to certain foods. Cause that's one thing I found out through following the 2B mindset that I didn't with the container system was that, certain foods made me bloated. So she's big on, which I'll show you this here in a second too, she's big on tracking your food each day. So of course she wants you to make your meal plans for the week. She encourages that because she also wants you to track your food and log your food each day. I don't know about you guys. I write my freaking food down once. I'm not writing it down again. Like, who has time to record it again? She'd probably smack me if she heard me say that. Who has time to write it down again? Who has time to track it in the app again? Because 2B Minds actually has a nutrition app as well. It goes with like purchasing 2B Mindset too, which again, I'd probably get slapped for this too, but I give this information out to you guys for free. I don't feel like you need to pay for this too, but it is an actual additional package. And if you do, which I did, you get access to an app to log your food, which is kind of similar to MyFitnessPal, but it follows, of course, this dynamic. So, and it tells you like what fits into where. So like when you log, I'm going to give you an example. If you log an apple, it tells you that falls into your FFC. So then you're only supposed to have 50 and 25, so 75%. Or whatever. You see what I'm trying to say? Like you're only supposed to have a few portions of FFC, so it like calculates that in for you. So it tells you if you went over your FFCs or your proteins, or if you were under. So it kind of works like MyFitnessPal, but it's geared more towards like this plated method. So again, she's big on like logging your food, which that had helped me in the beginning with realizing what foods agreed with my body and what foods didn't. Because in the morning, she wants you to also weigh yourself. I'm not big on weighing yourself every day just because as a woman, we fluctuate depending on like, the time of the month, if it's getting close or whatever, like we fluctuate a lot. At least I do anyway. Like I literally fluctuate 5 pounds either way. So it makes me sad, but I do. And I did find that certain foods contribute to that fluctuation. So I kind of tried to avoid them. Pastas was obviously like a big one. When I had pastas at night, I was bloated in the morning. Dairy is another thing that I'm finding. If I drink milk before bed, I am bloated in the morning. If I cut those things out before bedtime, I'm not as bloated. So those things like that, like kind of help. It makes you like aware of like how foods react, how your body reacts to foods. And then also like if I eat like spaghetti squash and zucchini and things like that, I'm not bloated in the morning and I actually like lose weight throughout the week. So like knowing things like that kind of like help with keeping you on target for your weight loss. So that is this diagram. Let me go on to telling you about the tracker. So again, whenever you purchase 2B Mindset, you get this awesome book, which I'd run out and get it and show you mine, but it's out there and yeah, I'll be attached by kids and never come back. So this is what the tracker it's a booklet and it lists, if it's gonna scroll for me here, that might be helpful. There we go. And like, of course, it gives you like to set all your goals and take all your measurements. Let me actually just get into it here. So here's like your week at a glance. So again, this is like pushing home the whole planning out your meals and planning out your agenda for the week. So planning out your meals and your workouts, and then like she has on here notes and appointments and activities. So you could kind of use this as to encompass all of your daily plans. Like if you have kids to get to practice, or if you have, somewhere to be, hair appointments, wherever, you can dock everything in here too. So that's kind of helpful, keeps it all in one place for you instead of having different logs, I guess I'm trying to say. So she has that, and then from there, like we've already talked about before, like you have your meal plan, you create your grocery list off your meal plan. That's exactly what this is, your grocery list here. And then it goes into my day. So for each day you have this, and I can't remember how many, I want to say it's 12 weeks. I might be wrong. I think the book's 12 weeks long. Like if you get the book, which you can actually just purchase the book. I think it's like $20 on Beachbody. If you're thinking about this as something that you'd want to do. So again, it's like the date, your weight that morning, and if you lost anything, and how many hours of sleep you got. Because we know sleep is important too. Sleep contributes to like your overall health, mental, heart, and your body. Like you need sleep. Sleep, water, sleep and water. Tells you about documenting your current mood in the mornings, your water goal at the top there. And then here's just another way to document your food. And then, sorry, Courtney, if you're watching this recording, I'm going to pick on you for a second. We were sitting, and I have to share this with you guys. So everybody knows what this means down here, right? Well, it took Courtney, God love her, it took her a little bit to figure out what that was, because just in the middle of work, she was like, I know what that means now. And she goes, yes, I did do that today. So, of course, she's checking to see if you are potty, because, of course, that's important too. Everything that goes in should come out, and you should go daily. Like you should go daily. That's all I'm going to say. And we're done talking about poo. But yeah, you should go every day. And she has in here about like, when did you have your me time, and logging like your exercise, and then, why today was great. So again, it's just the whole mindset thing with how did you wake up in the morning? Were you in a positive mood? What made today great? And like, how did you end your day? So that is what the tracker looks like. So that's really what the rest of this book is, just showing that. What is this one? Oh, this is just an example then of like one that's filled out. To show you, like, what foods fall into where, which I think that's kind of like self-explanatory. And why can't I see my top part? Sorry, guys. Oh, that's another grocery list. Okay, so then just like the container system, she gives you the list of foods here. Now, this is a little different than the container system, which I'll explain it to you guys next time. But, sorry. So with the container system, you get a list of the foods too, but those foods are listed in order of nutritional value. So the ones usually at the highest for the container system, now this isn't for 2B, this is container system. The ones that are at the highest in the list are the ones that are more nutritious. So if you're following container system, you want to follow the foods that are at the top of the list, because they are the ones that are going to provide the most nutritional value. The ones at the bottom of the list are good too, but they don't have as much nutritional value as those at the top of the list. 2B does not do that. Like, she literally just gives you a list of everything that she approves, but she doesn't put them in that order to tell you which ones are better for you. So I don't kind of like that, because I mean, she even has one here like things that are pickled. Vegetarian, I probably won't be eating things that are pickled just because of all the salt and stuff in them. Probably once in a while, it's not going to kill you, but I don't think you want to do that all the time. And there's some stuff in here that I don't even know what they are. So I don't really like her list. I don't like it at all. So she still goes through like the proteins here too. I do like the beach bars are on the list because they are a protein. So she goes through that, and then what examples of FFCs are, because I know that was something new for me because I never heard that term before. It was always broken up between like your fruits, your vegetables, proteins, carbohydrates, and then any oils or nuts or anything like that. Because again, that was with the container system. But here she lumps it all together, all your starchy veggies, your beans, your fruits, and any whole grains. She throws all that together as an FFC. And then of course she talks about silly carbs, which we know what those are. All the fun stuff like beer, liquor, and wine, and chocolate, and pizza. Good treat meals though, right? So then she jumps into your accessories down here. So this is something that's different too, because the container system, I have the container, so next time whenever we talk about the containers, I'll actually bring them to show you like what they look like. But like your nuts and like your they call them healthy fats, they fit into like little tiny containers, like they're really tiny. So like on here, she's calling them accessories, which is great. And she's kind of giving you the parameters here, like pick 1 or 2 per meal that you enjoy most. You know, start with less. If you want more, you can always add a little bit more later. She doesn't really like, she's trying to use like a golf ball size. So like you're just using your eye. So I know for some people that's kind of hard for them to like, I don't want to say picture, but like, I was always too like, it needs to fit in the container. Like, this is what I'm supposed to eat, it has to fit in the container. Well, like they're not giving you a very good parameter here for your accessories. So it kind of like gives you more free for all, which I know like dressings and stuff like that too. Like, look at the backs of them, I guess is what I'm trying to get to here. If you look at, when you're adding accessories to your food, look at the nutritional label, like look at it, see what sodium's in it, how much sodium. You don't want things that are high in sodium, of course, high in sugar content. You want to try to keep that stuff low. Cholesterol, things like that too. You want to keep that low. Trans fat, keep that low. So you still need to like be reading the backs for your accessories, but she kind of gives it literally like a free for all and to keep it at like a golf ball size. So that's one thing where I'll give you a little bit of my opinion, but when it comes to accessories, I still kind of follow the container system mindset of it to keep it small within like how much I'm using. Oh, and here's your freebies, which freebies are always fun, right? So mustard's a freebie. Quick, not like story, but fun fact or something, I guess. I used to be a big ketchup person, and I hated mustard. So I know probably some people are like, oh my God, that's gross. But well, I used to be a big ketchup person and hated mustard. Well, now I love mustard and don't even use ketchup because mustard is considered a freebie for like literally everything. The container system too, it's a freebie. So why not have free stuff? I mean, I never really looked at the back of a mustard container until like I started this journey, and I'm like, well, no wonder it's free. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it if you never looked at the back of a mustard bottle. I suggest you do it because there's nothing in it. But then she talks about too here, like ways, like water boosters that are good too. I know some people have a hard time getting their water in, and of course that's a big thing with anything, but definitely 2B because they drive at home more. You want to make sure you're getting in your water. So like infusing it with fruits and like mint leaves and things like that. Oh, what else? I know, again, you need to look at the backs of the containers for the sugar content, but like I don't want to say Crystal Light packets because I'm not specifically sure which one, because I'm cool with just drinking plain water or having lemon or lime in it. But for those of you that don't and have a hard time getting it in, if you just look at like the backs of packets that you can buy at the store to like put in like flavor packets to put in your water, just pay attention to the sugar content. I mean, if it's low in sugar, go for it. You want to obviously shoot for something that has no sugar in it, but just to get you going, I believe that that'll be perfectly fine to do that. And then of course too, they have a recipe book, which the container system kind of does. They give you recipes that are approved by the trainer for that particular program. Because again, the container system is more driven towards that specific program, where 2B mindset is for all programs, which with that being said too, it's going to create some modifications with it too. Like I know depending on what workouts I'm doing, I've had to modify it. But again, I wait like 2 weeks into like my program, and then I do some modification, like adding some things here and there. Like it's usually typically a little bit of a carb for dinner. That's usually where I seem to need to get it in. So again, it's just paying attention to your body, just figuring out like what's good for you. But she actually gives like a recipe book, which is pretty cool. And I actually have this on our team page. There's some Shakeology stuff in here too, but banana pancakes, I used to like think that was crazy, but they're actually not that bad. So it's kind of nice just to have like these other different options in here too that she has thought up to like help you still stick with like the diagram picture if you're having a hard time with that and this is something you'd want to do. So there's a lot of things in here, which let me just show you quickly where that's housed on our team page, which I'm gonna have to stop sharing again. I need to figure this out because that's ridiculous. And then it won't let me minimize. Let me just go to our team.